Dirk Nowitzki is one of the greatest power forwards in NBA history and pioneered Europeans coming to America to play in the NBA. The 14-time All-Star, the one-time league MVP, the 2011 NBA champion, and a member of the Basketball Hall of Fame, was selected with the 9th overall pick. Standing at 7 feet tall, Dirk had ability to handle the ball, shoot from long range, create his own shot, which was unique for a player of his size, and had one of the most unstoppable shots in league history, the one-legged fadeaway. Combining his size with scoring ability, Dirk was a unique prospect with unlimited potential. So why did the 8 NBA teams pass on Dirk Nowitzki? Well, at the time, European players, especially those coming from Germany, were still something of a mystery to NBA teams, and the league had not yet fully embraced international talent, and there were general skepticism on how well European players could translate to the NBA style of play, and Dirk was a relatively unknown prospect compared to American college players, and there were concerns about how his game would translate to the NBA. So today I want to go back and take a look at the 8 NBA players that were selected over Dirk Nowitzki. Michael Olawokandi was selected with the first overall pick by the Los Angeles Clippers in the 1998 NBA draft. Michael came into the league with high expectations after a standout college career at the University of Pacific. Michael didn't pick up the sport seriously until his late teens. Despite this, he quickly developed into a dominant college player. In his final season at Pacific, he averaged 22 points, 11 rebounds, 3 blocks per game, catching the attention of NBA scouts. Olawokandi's NBA career, however, did not live up to the lofty expectations. Over his 9-year career, he played for the Los Angeles Clippers, Minnesota Timberwolves, and the Boston Celtics. His best season statistically came in the 2003 season with the Clippers, where he averaged 12 points, 9 rebounds, and just over 2 blocks per game. These numbers were respectable, but far below what was expected of a top draft pick. Injuries and inconsistencies plagued Michael throughout his career. He struggled with knee issues which limited his effectiveness and playing time. Additionally, his development as an offensive player never quite reached the level that many may have hoped. Despite being physically gifted, he never developed into a franchise cornerstone that the Clippers had hoped for when they drafted him first overall. His career averages were 8 points, 7 rebounds, and just over 1 block per game, which was solid, but far below which is typical from a number 1 pick. Mike Bibby was selected with the 2nd overall pick by the Vancouver Grizzlies. Bibby made a name for himself at the University of Arizona, where he played for 2 seasons. In his freshman year, Bibby led the Wildcats to a 1997 NCAA championship, earning himself recognition as one of the top collegiate players in the country. Bibby began his career with the Vancouver Grizzlies, where he immediately made an impact as the starting point guard, as he averaged 13 points, 6.5 assists, and just under 3 rebounds per game in his rookie season, earning himself a spot on the NBA All-Rookie First Team. In 2001, Bibby was traded to the Sacramento Kings in exchange for Jason Williams. This move marked a turning point in his career and the Kings franchise. Bibby quickly became the starting point guard for a Kings team that was already emerging as one of the NBA's elites, and his ability to score, distribute the ball, and hit clutch shots made him a perfect fit for the Kings' high-octane offense. Bibby's most memorable season came in 2002 when the Kings had the best record in the NBA and advanced to the Western Conference Finals, and Bibby was instrumental in the playoff run, particularly in the series against the Los Angeles Lakers. Bibby remained with the Kings until 2008, consistently averaging around 17 and 20 points per game and pairing it with around 6 assists per game as well. His tenure with the Kings is remembered as the most successful period in the franchise's history. Bibby then played for teams such as the Atlanta Hawks, Washington Wizards, and the Miami Heat, and he ultimately finished his career playing for the New York Knicks in the 2012 season, but by this time, his playing time and production had diminished. Raef LaFrentz was selected with the 3rd overall pick by the Denver Nuggets. LaFrentz played college basketball at the University of Kansas, where he was a standout player. His impressive college career, which included being a 2-time consensus first-team All-American, led to his selection as a 3rd overall pick in 1998. LaFrentz's NBA career began with the Denver Nuggets, where he quickly established himself as a promising young player. Despite dealing with some injuries early in his career, he showcased his ability to score, rebound, and block shots. LaFrentz's best season with the Nuggets came in 2002, where he averaged 15 points, 7 rebounds and almost 3 blocks a game, solidifying his reputation as a strong interior presence. However, in February of 2002, LaFrentz was traded to the Dallas Mavericks, and with the Mavericks, he continued to be a productive player, fitting in well with the team's up-tempo style of play. His ability to stretch the floor with his shooting, especially from 3-point range, was valuable to the Dallas Mavericks, who was one of the top teams in the Western Conference during his time there. LaFrentz was then traded to the Boston Celtics in the summer of 2003, where he provided veteran leadership and continued to contribute as a shooter and a shot blocker. However, his time with Boston was filled with injuries, limiting his impact and playing time. And then in 2006, LaFrentz was traded to the Portland Trail Blazers, where he would spend the final years of his NBA career. LaFrentz's career is often discussed in context of what could have been had injuries not played such a significant role in his career. Nonetheless, he was a skilled big man who brought a unique combination of shooting and defense to the teams he played for. Antawn Jamison was selected with the 4th overall pick by the Toronto Raptors. Jameson played college basketball at the University of North Carolina, where he was a standout player, earning himself the Naismith College Player of the Year award in 1998, and his stellar college career led him to be selected as the 4th overall pick by the Toronto Raptors. However, he was immediately traded to the Golden State Warriors for his college teammate and friend Vince Carter. Jameson began his NBA career with the Golden State Warriors, where he quickly established himself as a potent scorer. He averaged 19.5 points per game in his rookie season and continued to prove over the next few seasons. During his time in the Warriors, he averaged 20 points per game for 3 consecutive seasons, becoming one of the league's top scoring forwards. And in 2003, Jameson was traded to the Dallas Mavericks, and although he came off the bench for most of the season, he played a key role for the Mavericks and won the 6th Man of the Year award in 2004, and his ability to score efficiently made him a valuable asset to a deep Mavericks team that made the playoffs that year. Jameson was then traded to the Washington Wizards in 2004, where he enjoyed some of the best years of his career. Teaming up with Gilbert Arenas and Caron Butler, Jameson helped lead the Wizards to 4 consecutive playoff appearances from 2005 to 2008, and he was named an All-Star in 2005 and in 2008, solidifying his status as one of the league's top forwards. And then in 2010, Jameson was traded to the Cleveland Cavaliers, where he was expected to help LeBron James in the team's quest for a championship. However, due to LeBron's departure to Miami in 2010, Jameson became the veteran leader of the rebuilding Cavs team. And in 2013, Jameson signed with the Los Angeles Clippers, but his role was even more limited and he only played 22 games. And after that season, Jameson retired from the NBA, ending a 16-year NBA career. Antoine Jameson finished his career with over 20,000 career points, placing him in one of the top scorers in NBA history. Vince Carter was selected with the 5th overall pick by the Golden State Warriors. Carter played college basketball at the University of North Carolina, where he developed a reputation as an athletic, high-flying player with a knack for making highlight reel plays. After 2 years at UNC, Carter declared for the NBA draft and was selected 5th overall by the Golden State Warriors. However, he was traded on draft night to the Toronto Raptors in exchange for college teammate Antoine Jameson. Vince Carter quickly became the face of Toronto and was instrumental in putting the franchise on the map, and he won Rookie of the Year in 1999 as he averaged 18.5 points per game, and Carter's athleticism and spectacular dunks earned himself the nickname Air Canada. During his time with the Raptors, Carter was a perennial All-Star, earning All-Star selections from 2000 to 2004, and he led the Raptors to their first ever playoff appearance in the year 2000 and took them to the second round in 2001. However, Carter's time in Toronto came with some controversy, which led him to being traded to the New Jersey Nets in December of 2004. And in New Jersey, Carter revitalized his career, forming a dynamic partnership with Jason Kidd and Richard Jefferson. He continued to be a prolific scorer, averaging over 20 points per game in each of the seasons with the Nets, and Carter led the team to several playoff appearances, including a trip to the Eastern Conference Finals in 2006. Carter was then traded to the Orlando Magic in 2009, where he was expected to be the final piece of a championship contending team led by Dwight Howard, and Carter played a key role in helping the Magic reach the Eastern Conference Finals in 2010, but they fell short of making the NBA Finals, losing to the Boston Celtics. Carter's later years in the NBA saw him transition into a veteran role, providing leadership and experience to several teams such as the Phoenix Suns, Dallas Mavericks, and the Memphis Grizzlies. And then Carter spent his final years of his career with the Sacramento Kings and the Atlanta Hawks. Vince Carter retired with a career averages of 16.5 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists per game, and as he scored over 25,000 career points, placing him amongst one of the top scorers in NBA history. Robert Traylor was selected with the 6th overall pick by the Dallas Mavericks. At Michigan, Traylor was a standout player. He was known for his rebounding ability, physicality in the paint, and he was surprisingly agile for a player of his size at 6'8", around 300 pounds. Traylor helped lead Michigan to an NIT championship in 1997, and he was named the tournament's most valuable player. He then declared for the 1998 NBA draft and was selected with the 6th overall pick by the Dallas Mavericks. However, on draft night, he was traded to the Milwaukee Bucks in exchange for Dirk Nowitzki. Traylor began his NBA career with the Milwaukee Bucks, where he played 2 seasons from 1998 to the year 2000, and during his time with the Bucks, he served primarily as a backup forward, and he was known for his rebounding, defense, and ability to score in the post. Traylor became a fan favorite in Milwaukee due to his hard-nosed style of play and likable personality. Traylor then had short stints for the Cleveland Cavaliers and the New Orleans Pelicans before returning to the Bucks for his second stint. After his second stint with the Bucks in the year 2005, he did not return to the NBA, and he continued to play professional basketball overseas, playing in leagues in Turkey, Italy, and Puerto Rico. Traylor's life was tragically cut short on May 11, 2011, where he passed away at the age of 34 years old from a heart attack while playing in Puerto Rico, and his death shocked the basketball community, and he will forever be remembered fondly by his teammates, coaches, and fans as a player who brought energy, enthusiasm, and a big heart to the game. Jason Williams was selected with the 7th overall pick by the Sacramento Kings. During his time with the Kings, Williams was a catalyst of an offense that became known as one of the most entertaining in the NBA. Alongside teammates like Chris Webber, Vlade Divac, and Peja Stojakovic, Williams helped the Kings develop into a playoff contender. The Kings made the playoffs each season during Williams' tenure, though they were unable to advance beyond the second round. In 2001, Jason Williams was traded to the Memphis Grizzlies in a deal that brought Mike Bibby to Sacramento. In Memphis, Williams continued to showcase his unique skills throughout his game, matured under coach Hubie Brown. Williams became much more controlled and focused on his decision-making, reducing turnovers while still providing flair to the team. He helped the Grizzlies reach the playoffs for the first time in franchise history, though they struggled to advance in the postseason. Williams was then traded to the Miami Heat in 2005, joining a team led by Shaquille O'Neal and Dwayne Wade. And in Miami, Williams played a key role as a starting point guard, helping lead the Heat to their first ever NBA championship in 2006. After a stint with the Heat, Williams briefly retired in 2008 before returning to the NBA with the Orlando Magic in 2009. He played 2 seasons with the Magic, primarily as a backup point guard, and contributed to their run to the Eastern Conference Finals in 2010. And Williams' final NBA season was in 2011, returning to the Memphis Grizzlies, where he played a limited role before retiring for good. Larry Hughes was selected with the 8th overall pick by the Philadelphia 76ers. And as a rookie, Hughes showed flashes of his scoring ability and athleticism while he averaged 9 points per game. Hughes spent his first 2 seasons with the Philadelphia 76ers where he began to develop his game, particularly on the defensive end. In the year 2000, he was traded to the Golden State Warriors, where he had more opportunity to showcase his scoring ability, and he did just that as he averaged 22.7 points per game during the 2001 NBA season with the Warriors, emerging as the team's primary offensive weapon. However, in 2002, Hughes signed with the Washington Wizards, where he truly began to make a name for himself in the league. Teaming up with young star Gilbert Arenas, Hughes formed a dynamic backcourt duo that became one of the most exciting in the NBA. During the 2005 season, Hughes had his best year yet, averaging 22 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists per game, and almost 3 steals per game. Hughes' success with the Wizards led to a lucrative free agent contract with the Cleveland Cavaliers in 2005, and the Cavaliers were looking for a reliable scorer and defender to pair with their emerging superstar LeBron James. While Hughes continued to be a solid contributor, injuries began to take a toll on his performance, but despite this, he played a key role in helping the Cavaliers reach the finals in 2007. And after a stint with the Cavaliers, Hughes played for several other teams, including the Chicago Bulls, New York Knicks, Charlotte Bobcats, and the Orlando Magic. While he remained a productive player, injuries and the wear and tear of a long NBA career began to limit his effectiveness, and Hughes' final season in the NBA was in 2011 with the Orlando Magic. And with the 9th pick, the Milwaukee Bucks selected Dirk Nowitzki and traded him to the Dallas Mavericks on draft night, and the rest was history. That's a wrap on our deep dive into the 8 players drafted before Dirk Nowitzki. If you like this type of videos, I suggest checking out this video right here.